If you go to Isaiah 53, verse 5, it speaks prophetically about the death of Jesus on the cross. And it says, He was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Now, when you really analyze that, you realize that all four of those things were accomplished before he rose from the dead. And you could be forgiven of your transgressions and your iniquities. You could even have peace with God, and you could be healed even if Jesus never rose from the dead. So, if all that's true, then why did he rise from the dead? You see, Jesus looked at human nature. So having a sinful nature, what does that mean? It means that when I'm tempted, the most natural thing I can do is sin. And I could just hear somebody saying, Pastor, are you justifying sin? Are you saying it's cool for me to sin? No. I'm just telling you, if you've ever tried to stop sinning, that's why it's so hard to quit. Why? Because it is as natural for me to sin when I'm tempted as it is for me to drink when I'm thirsty or eat when I'm hungry. It's a natural response. It's my nature. So when I stop sinning, I am going against my nature. Because my nature is to let my body control my soul, my mind, my intellect, my will, my emotions. It's natural for me to let my body control, and it's unnatural for me to be controlled from the inside out. Spirit controlling the soul, soul controlling the body. So Jesus said, since I, Jesus Christ, am the only person who ever lived a sinless life, I need to not only die so they can be forgiven of transgressions and iniquities, I need to also rise from the grave so that I can live in them, through them, the overcoming life that they could have never lived in their own power. But, unfortunately, for many Christians, their Christian life would be no different if Jesus had never risen from the dead. They don't ever take advantage of his resurrection. They don't ever say, Jesus lived through me from the inside out. Instead, they let their human nature take them into sin. Then they come back to God and say, God, I need to take advantage of his death. They ask forgiveness of transgressions and iniquities. They ask for peace with God. And all that was paid for before he rose from the dead. And then when they do that, Jesus says, now let me take over. And they're like, no, you're not going to be in charge. I'm in charge. I'm the boss here. So what are they doing? They're saying, Jesus, I want you to be my Savior, but I don't want you to be my Lord. Because you see, you can be dead and be a Savior, but you have to be alive to be a Lord. Why? Because a Lord calls the shots. A Lord is in charge. He's the king. So the bottom line is, for many of us, if Jesus had never risen from the dead, our Christian life would be no different because we are not taking advantage of his resurrection. We're only taking advantage of his death. We're not saying, Jesus, come and be my Lord. We're saying, Jesus, I only want you to be my Savior. There's a big difference between Savior and Lord. In Christianity, we've mixed both words up together and made them into one. Jesus is my Lord and Savior. No, it's totally different. Jesus became my Savior when his blood washed away my sin. But he becomes my Lord when I surrender every part of my life to his authority and I let him live through me from the inside out. So don't just take advantage of his death. Take advantage of his resurrection. Don't just let Jesus be your Savior. Ask Jesus to be your Lord and let him give you victory as he lives through you from the inside out.
I want to give you a message that I preached based on the life of the youngest king that Israel ever had, Josiah, who became king at age 8. When he was 18 years old, he turned an entire nation to God. In fact, after his death, God said that no king before or after him had ever sought after God like he did. What caused this young man to be transformed into such a mighty man of God? He learned his destiny. I want you to have this message so you will be inspired to find God's destiny for your life. If you'd like to get this free audio CD or download it now as an MP3 file, just visit our website, markgorman.com. And on the home page, click the link for the free audio. And if you live in the New Orleans area, come visit us at Grace Christian Center in 2 locations. On Saturdays at 6 p.m., we have our North Shore service in Slidell at 3648 Pontchartrain Drive, that's Highway 11. And Sundays at 11:30 a.m., we meet at 1301 Metairie Road. For more information, visit our church website, gccnola.com. Thank you, and God bless you.